Hello everyone and welcome back to another new album video. We're now on week 49 and this week we're taking a look at Frogstomp by Silverchair. First released March 27th, 1995. Some notable tracks on this album include Tomorrow, Shade, Cicada, and Pure Massacre. This album I think Tomorrow was like the only song I was really familiar with, and it was mostly just due to the music video that was, would play on MTV when this album came out. So I think in 1995 I was listening to a bunch of other music, and this one kind of just went under my radar. Like I said, I was familiar with Tomorrow, but I had never listened to the album in full until just very recently, within like the last couple days. It's an incredibly solid album. Like it definitely kind of, like I said, flew under my radar. Kind of regret not listening to it back then, but back then I was definitely listening to Alanis Morissette's debut, the Foo Fighters debut, and Garbage's debut album, and this one kind of just like I said, kind of flew under my radar. But listened to it recently, really enjoyed it, incredibly solid. I have some notes here about it. We'll get to those, and then we'll do like the track listing and all that, like we normally do on these albums. There we go. So, like we said, Silverchair by Frogstomp. I don't know why the name of the band always reminded me of, isn't there a book in the Chronicles of Narnia called the Silverchair? I think that's kind of, I could be misremembering it because I definitely remember there being something about Silverchair. Let me actually just look that up really quick because I am now curious. So yeah, The Silverchair is a book in that series. That's like what I thought. But yeah. Anyway, so back to the album. Like I said, when they put this album out, just the name of it reminded me of that particular book. I'd never read the book. I think we had it on the shelf. I think I remember reading like the first one and then never really getting into it. Anyway, kind of getting off track. So first released, let's see, March 27th, 1995. This is their debut studio album. Like I said, didn't really get into it or into them due to it just kind of flying under my radar during that time period. Incredibly interesting is the band was only, when this album came out, the members of the band were basically about 15 years old, which, taking that into consideration, it's just incredible that a group of 15-year-olds was able to, make an album this solid, especially their first time releasing an album. This is their debut, and it's, this incredibly good. And they're only 15 when they put it out, which is kind of incredible. According to Ben Giles and Daniel Johns, they recorded the album over a 9-day period. I think they said they even mixed it. It was like mixed and mastered and all that, and even in an even shorter amount of time. Some genres at play here are definitely rock, alternative, grunge. There's like a little bit of metal there as well. So some really cool genres at play here. Ben Giles was asked in 2007, or had said that they were definitely inspired by the Seattle sound of the early 90s. So a lot of the kind of the grunge artists of that time period, like Pearl Jam, Nirvana, and the like. So definitely influenced by that. In 2015, Daniel Johns was asked about something. You can bring up a quote about that here. Just pull this up. That's about the title. So in 2015, he was asked about kind of if the entire record was just recorded, the record was recorded live in the studio, and he says, "quote Yeah, that's the thing that I do really like about that album. It sounds exactly like we sounded. There was no big American producer calling the shots behind the desk and telling us to do things this and that, do this, this and this. It was literally this guy, Kevin Shirley, who was a great producer, just saying, I want it to sound like you guys, but I want it to sound really effing loud, and I want the guitars really effing loud." So to me, I was like, effing yeah. The songwriting might not be genius, but I was sonic, but I think sonically the performance was really good. It it's really honest and just three Australian kids thrashing it out in the studio, and that's exactly how it sounds. And it definitely sounds like very kind of like raw and unrefined. I think there's another quote coming up where they mentioned kind of the sound just being like very raw. See, that was a quote from that. And then in 2020, Ben Giles was also quoted about something. Let me actually pull that up. Basically said, he was asked about kind of like the following about the how like because it's gained quite a good following. He says, we were always searching to keep that spark alive when Frog Stomp came out because it was just so unrefined. It was just so raw. There was something magical about that we continue to try to explore. I think we did pretty well. So again, just back to the kind of raw, refined sound where they say, like I mentioned in one of the previous quotes, it's an Australian band, so that's like we didn't have an American producer like yelling, "We want more of this, more of this. It's got to sound like this." They're just like, "We want it to be loud. We want all of the guitars to be loud," and so on. So it is worth mentioning that they are an Australian band. So pretty interesting that they basically just kind of came out, recorded it with Kevin Shirley, who just kind of was like, just we want it to sound like you. They're not trying to. The producer wasn't trying to craft the sound that he wanted. He just wanted them to sound like them, which is pretty cool. Let's see here. A quote about how the album was named. Let's see here. This was from 1999. This is Daniel Johns again. It says, "quote I was at a guy, or oh, sorry, I was at a guy from our record company's house one night, and I was looking through his CDs because he's got a really good collection. I found this '60s pop collection record, and I was just going, why do you have this? I looked at the back, and there was this song that some guy did called Frog Stomp, and I said, that quote, within the quote, that's a pretty good name. I just rang up Ben and Chris, and we just thought it was really funny, so we used it for the album." So basically, kind of just saw the name of the album and it's somewhere else, and then decided to just use it as the title. Let's see here. We came out to actually pretty good, decent reviews. Let me just pull those up here. And like I said earlier, for being pretty damn good reviews for being just a bunch of 15-year-olds when this album came out. So All Music has it at a 4 out of 5. Let's see, Bucket List has it at an 8.5 out of 10. Classic Rock has it at a 3 out of 5. Entertainment Weekly gave it a B minus. Kill Your Stereo has it, looks like it at a 3.5 out of 5. Mystic Suns has it at a 4.5 out of 5. Let's see, Renowned for Sound has it at 4 out of 5. Soundscape Magazine, again, 4 out of 5. Soundspear, 4 out of 5. And Village Voice gave it looks like a C. So overall, a lot of kind of 4-star reviews, like 3.5, 4 stars. Pretty good though for a debut album by just a bunch of kids. So again, like I said, didn't really listen to this when it came out, but I kind of regret not doing that. But I'm definitely glad I ended up going back and listening to it recently, because I've definitely have seen a lot of chatter about oh yeah, that album was really good. It was kind of like an underrated album, or it didn't get necessarily I said, I kind of missed it because I was too busy listening to a bunch of other stuff at the time that I just didn't get around to it. I knew kind of who they were somewhat. Like I said, Tomorrow was kind of the only song I knew based on the kind of music videos. But now we're going to get to our track listing, and it will be right over here with that. Let's see what we have here. So about 44 minutes in length, 11 tracks here. So we have track 1 is Israel Sun. Track 2 is Tomorrow. Again, that's probably their most well-known. I remember there being a music video for that one was on MTV quite a lot. Track 3 is Fault Line. Track 4 is Pure Massacre. Track 5 is Shade. Track 6 is Leave Me Out. Track 7 is Suicidal Dream. Track 8 is Madman. Track 9 is Undecided. Track 10 is Cicada. And finally, track 11 is Find the Way. Find the Way being one word, not find a way, but find the way. There's done a few different reissues. Like I think the vinyl edition has an extra track, which is Blind, which is from the EP for Tomorrow, which I think they put out like some 6 months before the album came out. The EP for that, and then a few other various reissues over the years. But overall, a very solid, just kind of alternative, grungy. I probably put it into more alternative than grunge, but it's definitely like fits that kind of like mid '90s alternative rock vibe like very well. Definitely regret not listening to this again when it was first out, but glad I ended up streaming this somewhat recently. But again, that's going to do it for this episode. Again, this is episode 49, so just a few more to go. And then we'll wrap up with a kind of a breakdown of all the albums we listened to for this series this year. And then there'll probably be a separate mini-series for everything I listened to this year, including the stuff from this series and stuff outside of that series as well. But that's going to do it for now. So remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll see you again next time. Thanks again for watching. Take care and have a good one. See ya.